Hello, I'm David and I work for ITAS as a Sage consultant. In this video, I'm taking you through a 15-minute demonstration of running Sage 50 Payroll. Find your payroll icon on the desktop, double-click to open it up, select your company and enter your login details, including the process date, which is the date you wish to pay your employees. Once payroll is open, it is easy to organise your employees. You can either view all employees or view by pay period. We have fortnightly, 4-weekly, monthly and weekly paid. Underneath each pay period, there is then the department the employees are in. So you can see either all employees, employees by pay frequency, or employees by pay frequency and department. Today, we are going to be concentrating on the monthly paid finance employees. One more thing to mention here is once you're in the software, you can check the process date that you've set. It's in the bottom right hand corner. We can see it's set to the 26th of June 2021. When it comes to running the payroll, we are just going to follow the tasks down on the left hand side from setting your process date or using the change process date option. We're then going to go into enter payments, moving down to the pre-update reports, updating the records, and then the full payment submission to HMRC. There is other options available within this menu to do with automatic enrolment, nominal link, and uploading online pay slips. But for the purposes of this demo, we will do the basics of the 5 steps that I've just mentioned: set process date, enter payments, pre-update reports, update records, and full payment submission. So now we'll go ahead and process the payroll. We'll check the process date first of all is set to the 26th of June, which it is, and then we'll select the employees we wish to pay by clicking the swap button at the top of the screen. We then go into enter payments, and the system will automatically check for any legislation updates. It's recommended that you say yes to this and apply any changes that may be there. In this case, there isn't any. We can just click OK, and that will bring up the enter payment screen. In this screen, this is where you're going to check the salary that people are being paid, which is being pulled through automatically from the employee's record. So there's no changes to be made. We can do save and next and go to the next employee. We will repeat this process for all employees. So you can see again, bringing through their one flat salary. And just to let you know, at the bottom, that's where you can see the gross pay, the PAYE, NIC deductions, and the net pay. Save and next again to move on to the next employee until there's changes that are to be made. For this employee, they did do 5 hours overtime. So we just put 5 hours in the hours and numbers box, and that will automatically calculate the correct amount of $61.54 for overtime and automatically add that to the gross pay and work out the deductions. We save and next and add on more overtime to employee 111. Save and next again until we get to the employee 192, and we need to put on some expenses. So we put in one lot of £20 expenses they are receiving back, and that is only going to affect their net pay. We'll continue the process, save and next, until we get to the last employee, which is employee 203, and it won't let us go any further. It stops there, and we've finished entering the payments. We can click close. Once you've entered the payments, you will notice the last calculated date has changed to the process date, the 26th of June, but the last updated date remains the same as the 25th of May, the previous period. Next is into pre-update reports. We'll start off by running the payment summary part 1, which gives you a gross to net breakdown of each employee's individual pay with the totals down at the bottom. This allows you to double check the figures you have entered. Moving on, we can run the payment summary part 2. This gives you the NI and pension breakdown by employee and each employee and employer contribution amounts. Last but not least, the pensions current report. This shows you all pension schemes you've got, grouped together by the employees that are contributing to each scheme and the totals for each scheme, allowing you to analyse how much you're contributing towards each scheme for this period. Last but not least, we have the pay slips. All pay slips for all 10 employees will be printed, and on there you'll see it has all the relevant information you would expect to see on your pay slips. All of these pay slips can be printed out, exported to PDF, as well as the other reports. We have selected 3 reports and a set of pay slips for you to run in this pre-update example, but there is many other reports that are available. Just depending on what you're after out of the reports, the report is possibly available already in the program on the left hand side, or there is a series of reports available to download online and input into your software. Next, we're ready to update records. Click Update Records on the left hand side, and you'll be given a prompt to make sure you have printed all pre-update reports or created any CSV files that you wish. If you're happy to continue, click on Yes, and you'll be presented with the Update Records wizard. Take a backup at this point, click Next. Make sure you're leaving everything highlighted. Those are the important files to be backed up every time you take a backup. Click Next again, and then browse for a location to take your backup. Make sure this is away from your current PC and also where your data is stored on some kind of external storage is ideal. Synced up to the cloud is ideal as well. Give it a meaningful name and then click the Save button. Click Next and Finish, and your backup is taken. Once the backup is finished, you'll go back to the Update Records wizard and you just need to continue. Confirm who you're updating, so 10 monthly employees. It then lists those 10 employees for you. If you're happy, click Finish, and this will update the records. Again, once it's updated, it'll give you a prompt to advise you to create any leavers and do your full payment submission to HMRC. What you will now see is the last updated date has now updated to the 26th of June. At this point, you may then want to go in and run any post-update reports. We have the payment summary part 3. This is another useful report, again a gross to net breakdown per employee with totals at the bottom. This is the year-to-date gross to net breakdown, so you can keep a track on your costs as the year is going on. Next, you then got the P32 report. Ideally, it'll be ran at the end of the tax month, but if you've got no other periods to update, we can run it straight away, and the period is automatically selected for the date that we are in at the moment, which is period 3. We click OK, and when this report comes up, as you can see, it shows the breakdown of the PAYE, student loans, NI, and down at the very bottom, line 21, shows us how much we owe across to HMRC. That's what we can expect to be taken out of the bank. As with pre-update reports, there is many other reports that are available for you to run post-update. Again, depending on what you're after, the report is possibly there. Once the records have updated, we need to submit to HMRC via the full payment submission. We get a handy checklist to make sure we're happy to continue and we've done everything that we need to. We can then click Submit. We get an important notice to make sure again that we're happy to continue. It picks up the submission credentials automatically from the software. We click Submit again. We see the list of employees and their individual liability, as well as the total liability to submit. We click Submit again, and off that goes to HMRC. Once the submission has been successful, you will get a receipt back. You can click the hyperlink to print this receipt. But don't worry, if you don't print it at this point, that is absolutely fine. You can get it later on under e-submissions and e-submissions log on the left hand side, and you'll see there's a successful submission there. And that is your payroll done. For further information or to speak to one of our consultants, please get in touch.